Am I the asshole for reporting my car stolen after my friend stole it? Couple of my friends came over to my house to hang out because my parents went out of town for the week. I'm the only one in the group with a license and a car and live in the suburbs while everyone else lived in the inner city. One of my friends brought some pretty strong edibles and I was literally out for 4 days straight. Think it was like 500 milligrams of THC and I was tripping balls. While high, one of them was asking me to drive him to McDonald's or whatever and I told him to fuck off because I was high as fuck. While I was high, I saw him going through my pockets and taking my keys. I was too high to do anything about it and slowly said, "Do, N, T, ta, KMICA, R." He just ignored me and I heard my car drive off. I went back into my high and forgot about it for few hours. I woke up from a weird dream and realized my car was gone. The person that stole my car has no license and asked me before if he could practice on my car. I always refused because I only had a novice license and literally couldn't by law have him behind the wheel of my car. I first called him and told him that he was a dick and bring my car back. He said, "Relax, I'm just practicing, I'll be back soon." I don't know about you, but I hate people who have zero respect for other people's property. So instead of just letting it go, I called the cops and reported my car stolen and gave them my friend's information. A police officer came over to my house and I told him the whole story. The officer and I waited for him to come back. Rest of my buddies were still high, so I sent them to my bedroom. About 2 hours later the dipshit thief comes back with my car. When he came back the officer gave him an earful and arrests him motor vehicle theft. He now has a criminal record and will probably get prison time. Am I the asshole? Rest of my friends agree that he was in the wrong but are mixed about reporting him to the police because it probably ruined his life. They all cut him off as well. Not the asshole. That friend totally crossed a line by taking your keys and driving off without your permission. You were in a vulnerable state, and he took advantage of that. Not the asshole. Your friend ruined his own life by stealing a car. This is his painful message that he can't act like a little shit and not get in trouble. In what condition he is allowed to take somebody's car? Without license? With no proper trainer? With also no consent? What if he hit somebody, or the car crashed, or police caught him? Not the asshole. No need to worry about his future. He should think about it before grabbing the key. Not the asshole. You told him not to take your car, and he did anyway. That's definitely theft. He feed around and he found out. Not the asshole reporting the crime didn't ruin your friend's life, committing it did. Judge Judy would say if he drives and kills a bus full of children, you could get sued if you don't report it stolen. Would I be the asshole if I don't bring food to a potluck? My husband's family throws a park party every year. Just a family get-together. I just had a baby. She's 3 months. My husband is going to be in Mexico for a wedding. He is the best man that I can't go to because my daughter does not have a passport and because it's not in a very safe area in Mexico. So I'm going to be driving 2 hours to stay with my parents for a few days who live near this park with my baby and my dog. I honestly probably would not have otherwise gone to this party, but everybody wants to see the baby. There's like 15 aunts that haven't met her and they all want to see her. I recently got a text message that said I'm responsible for bringing a dessert and an appetizer. It's generally frowned upon to just buy store-bought stuff and everybody usually brings their own recipes and usually most of it doesn't get eaten. Honestly, I wish I had been given alcohol or something because that would have been about 50 times easier. I'm exhausted and the idea of going shopping, cooking and trying to juggle everything with a baby just sounds impossible. I haven't had a decent night of sleep in 3 weeks. I would say I probably wouldn't eat anything, but I would be lying. I'm not a big eater, but I will probably snack on a few things. Would I be the asshole not bringing food? Edit. Thanks everybody. I think I'm just going to drive through and get some donuts on the way there. I remember there's a pretty popular donut shop in that area. For those of you who were worried about her getting sick, she's got all the vaccines for flu season 1, got them when I was pregnant. And she will actually be 4 months by the time his party happens. No assholes here but FFS, like, don't go. Info. So I'm going to be driving 2 hours to stay with my parents for a few days who live near this park with my baby and my dog. Why though? You say that like it's causal. My husband is going away, and I can't be alone, so I have to go to my parents? I honestly probably would not have otherwise gone to this party, but everybody wants to see the baby. Your child is 3 months old. Why the fuck are they not coming to you if they want to see it? I'm exhausted. Why are you even considering going at all? I think maybe your husband needs to stop going to weddings. 2 weddings in 3 months, leaving you solo for several days at a time, is remarkably uncool. Not the asshole, and anyone asking a new mother to bring food to a potluck is bananas and not being able to buy something. Nope. And honestly, you said at least 15 aunts? If not more relatives? I am not one that is easily afraid of germs. I left the hospital with my second child and went shopping the day after I had her. She is now 32. But there is no way that I would have a 3-month-old baby around that many people in one day, at one shot. Your baby is too young and has not a chance to build up immunity yet. I would not go to that potluck. Aunties will have to wait until baby is older. Here's the deal, if you do go, and don't bring food, YWBTA. Just decline the invite. I'm sorry, I will need to decline the invitation to this event. With husband's name gone, I've been on solo parent duty with an infant. I haven't been sleeping much for several weeks, and this event is beyond my capacity right now. I will be in the area if some of you would like to come visit, however. Please give me a heads up so we can expect company. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you all at the next event. Go to your parents' house, get some help with the baby, get some sleep, and when your husband comes home, invite family over to see you and the baby. A huge event with an infant sounds miserable without support from a spouse. Repeat after me. Or I could not have come. Use this if anyone gives you a hard time about not bringing anything, or not cooking if you choose to bring something purchased. If you go, you're accommodating their wish to see your child. Having additional expectations on you, to cook for it, is ridiculous. Especially when there's usually far too much food anyway. Better yet, use the in advance version. I am unable to bring food. Do you want me to come anyway? You're going to bring a 3-month-old baby with a developing immune system around 15+ people during the beginning of flu season? Decline the invite. If they want to see the baby they can come to you. Don't people usually bring new moms food, not the other way around? Am I the asshole for refusing to let my mom take things from my house to give to her cult leader? For context, my parents are Muslim, I'm agnostic. They follow a branch of Islam with a heavy emphasis on philosophy. Growing up, I was often subjected to these religious discussions and visits to a respected elder, who led these spiritual gatherings. My parents have followed multiple elders over the years, bringing them gifts as a form of respect. As a child, I believed it was normal until I grew up and realized it felt very cult-like. One such elder, Grumpy Elder, lives in the city where I attend university. A few years ago, my mom insisted we visit him before driving back home. Reluctantly, I agreed. During the visit, I was shocked when my mom got on her knees and kissed his foot. This was the moment I felt fully disgusted and realized I no longer respected these elders. Today, as I'm preparing to move back home, my mom wanted to visit Grumpy Elder again. I told her she could, but then noticed she was packing items from my house, a large can of olive oil and a pack of Earl Grey tea, as gifts for him. I refused, telling her that he already gets enough from his followers and has a decent pension. She got upset, and although she didn't say it outright, I could tell she thought I was being an a-hole. Some context. I don't have my own income, so most items in the house are technically bought using my mom's money. However, the specific items she took were bought by my dad. My parents are divorced. I felt it was unfair for her to gift them to Grumpy Elder. So, am I the asshole for stopping her from giving things to this elder? A large can of olive oil and a pack of Earl Grey tea. I'd be an even grumpier elder if this is what my devoted followers were bringing me. Not the asshole. Edit. Good point on the price of olive oil but as a grumpy elder I'm not looking to get in the olive oil resale business. I just want to be grumpy, respected and old. You're right, your mom has no business taking things from your house to give to her spiritual teacher. Wouldn't that essentially be stealing from someone to obtain spiritual merit? Not the asshole for not letting her steal your stuff. The whole kissing of the feet, other religions do that too. I just saw a picture of the Pope washing and kissing the feet of 12 women inmates. It's supposed to symbolize how we should treat each other. Though I do wonder if he also washes and kisses the feet of 12 male inmates. Honey, I'm Muslim. This not Islam, this is kafir. Worshipping a person is against Islam and every religion. Your mom need to check her beliefs and obviously this elder is using your mom and his followers not Islam-like. I can't tell you more, all of this is 100% haram. Not the asshole. This really comes down to your mother trying to give away your belongings without your permission. Yes, it's her money that buys things, however once she gave you that money, or bought those things for you, they become yours. Even more so, the tea and olive oil were bought by your father, not her. Not the asshole. She does what now, cowboy hat face, I'm Muslim and we are not allowed to bend down to anyone and kiss their feet. That's not Islam, plain and simple, it feels more of a cultural thing. If you don't mind my asking, what ethnicity are y'all? I had to get that out of my head. If she's the one who's visiting, why can't she bring a gift of her own instead of taking your olive oil and tea? You are certainly not the asshole, good luck with all of this. Not the asshole. Items from my house, a large can of olive oil and a pack of Earl Grey tea, as gifts for him. And NGL, that's some lazy ass gifting. Am I the asshole for calling my stepmom selfish during family therapy? I'm 17 female, in family therapy with my dad and stepmom. My dad wanted us to talk through our problems because my stepmom has been really upset lately that I have shut her out of my life in a pretty big way and she just wants to be closer. My mom died when I was 5 and I have 2 older brothers who are 20 and 23. My stepmom moved in when I was 8 and she and my dad got married when I was almost 11. We always got along okay. But I never thought of her as like a second mom or as the strongest mom figure in my life. My mom left videos for each of us. My dad got some birthday ones and a Christmas and wedding anniversary video. My brothers and I got every birthday until 18 that she'd miss, milestone birthdays, Christmas and big events like our own weddings and babies. After dad remarried I started to watch mine more at Christmas and I'd maybe watch my birthday videos twice. My dad remarrying made me think of mom more and made me miss her more. It felt more real that life had moved on without her and dad really fell in love with someone else. My dad watched us whenever his birthday or Christmas would happen too. But a year after he remarried he turned 40 and she started making faces whenever one of us would watch a mom video. And whenever dad would smile watching the video she would look annoyed, pissed. After that she suggested she could keep mine safe for me because I was so young but I didn't trust her to do that. After 3 years of noticing this stuff, she told dad the videos made her unhappy and uncomfortable and she felt like an outsider at Christmas when he looked so in love with my mom. She also said she felt like the videos were a roadblock between her and us, me and my brothers. Dad compromised that he would watch his less and she wouldn't say anything to us. I saw my dad struggle with that for years. I saw him go to watch one of mom's videos and stop himself. Then my stepmom and I started fighting because I didn't want her to touch the discs the messages were recorded on. She was also upset when my brothers did backups of all the discs so we'd always have the messages even if the originals were broken. She told us we valued those more than we valued most people. Dad told her to leave us alone. But I stopped being as friendly with her as I was and shut her out. I left her out of prom stuff last year that she wanted to do with me and I always say no to hanging out with her. This brought us to therapy and last week I spoke my mind and said I think she's incredibly selfish for making dad feel bad about watching the videos mom left for him. I said mom was his first wife, the mother of his children and if she really loved him she'd want him to have them. But she doesn't like knowing she came second and yet she joined the family anyway. I also mentioned why I never trusted her with mine. She was so upset because she had no idea I had picked up on and heard so much. She cried and said I didn't need to destroy her feelings like that. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I can understand why it bothers her, but she needs to understand that he was married to your mother first, and that even though your dad remarried, it's not fair to act like your mother never existed, which that's what it seems like. Those videos sound sweet. Your brothers were right to make backups of all of them, and you were right not to trust her with the videos, because based on her telling you she would keep them safe, it sounds sus. That last part, oof girl. She sounds toxic AF and was definitely projecting. Once you graduate high school, GTFO. She was also upset when my brothers did backups of all the discs so we'd always have the messages even if the originals were broken. Yeah, those videos were going to disappear. Not the asshole and good move to back them up, make sure she doesn't know where the backups are and maybe make an extra set to be safe. She cried and said I didn't need to destroy her feelings like that. Not the asshole, yes, you did. She needed a reality check, and she wasn't thinking about anyone else's feelings but hers. Not the asshole. I feel sorry in a way for your stepmom. It must be hard to join a family and never really feel a part of it, thinking you were always some sort of cheap replacement or subpar version of someone who is very loved and very missed. But that does not justify acting up when you want to watch your mom's videos, which are a very sweet thing to do, and making you and your family feel bad about wanting to treasure these memories. You are not the asshole because family therapy is meant to be exactly for this. For people to say how they feel and to work through their feelings. Your family life won't improve unless you are honest with each other, and this was a good first step. Not the asshole. She cried and said I didn't need to destroy her feelings like that. This is exactly what therapy is for, discussing harsh truths. Helping her live with not being your mom. Helping her handle that your dad has a late wife he still cherishes. You don't need therapy, you are fine, she does. And if you can't be OPEB and honest in therapy, it will be useless. Not the asshole. You were honest in therapy. That's kind of the purpose. There's a lot going on here and most of it is your dad's and stepmom's relationship, which really is in no way your issue to repair. That's their adult relationship and they need to work on that themselves. Back up your videos. At least 2 places, new disk and cloud if you can. Ask your brothers to help if possible. These are important to you, and you should have backups for a number of reasons.